Has anyone ever said, "Can I get the usual?" and you have no idea who they are? I had this one time where an older gentleman walked into the store, looked me dead in the eyes and said, "I'll get what I usually get." And I'm just standing there like, I don't know what you usually get. And in my mind, I'm thinking this has to be a prank, right? I never saw this guy one day in my entire life. So yeah, I made him a sandwich, and as I was ringing him up, he said, "I bet you'll never forget my sandwich ever again because of this." And sir, I have no idea what your sandwich is to this day. Has anyone ever said, "Can I get the usual?" and you have no idea who they are? I had this one time where an older gentleman walked into the store, looked me dead in the eyes and said, "I'll get what I usually get." And I'm just standing there like, I don't know what you usually get. And in my mind, I'm thinking this has to be a prank, right? I never saw this guy one day in my entire life. So yeah, I made him a sandwich, and as I was ringing him up, he said, "I bet you'll never forget my sandwich ever again because of this." And sir, I have no idea what your sandwich is to this day. I'm actually the owner moment. So about a month ago, I had a woman walk into Subway and start complaining to me about all the prices. She was talking to me about how everything is so expensive and how our business is going to go out of business if it keeps being this expensive. At the end, she tells me, "You should really tell your boss or whoever owns this place to lower all the prices." And at that moment, I was like, that's my parents. And the look on her face just completely shifted. She basically just trash talked us in front of me for like 5 minutes straight. What's your worst nightmare at Subway? So my worst nightmare is one of two things. One is being robbed. I mean, that would be terrifying. And the second one has actually happened to me once before. It's completely running out of bread. For a half hour to 45 minutes, we literally had no bread to serve to customers. And the customers were definitely annoyed, but at least we had flatbread and a couple of wraps left. Funniest story with a customer and their family. So I had a mom walk in with her 2 sons one day, and they were ordering their sandwiches. Everything was going normally, and out of nowhere, the 2 brothers just started fighting. It started off with words with them saying, "You smell, you smell." These were like 8-year-old kids, and they literally just started swinging at each other out of nowhere, and the mom was like, "Hey, knock it off, boys." Me and the mom started laughing about it afterwards. Honestly, making ice cream with Dylan has been so much fun so far, but I will have to say one of the hardest parts are the throws. I messed up a few times on all of these throws, and I kept picking them up and dropping them back in. I found it kind of funny how I kicked it like a soccer ball to get rid of it, and I have to say I did change my gloves every time, so don't comment about that. Thanks, Dylan. By far my most requested sandwich, the everything sub, and we're doing it for 200K. Why don't you say so? Pulling out your coupe at the lot, told her for a 12 fuck swap. Know the day bleeds into nightfall.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna all the other kids with the pumped up. Do you remember? I needed some shit with some pop in it. Control, ride it, my soul, ride it.
Look, I just flipped the switch.
Hit or miss, I guess they never miss, huh?
All she wanna do is party. You guys are probably expecting me to take a bite of this and review it, right? There's no way I'm taking a bite of this sub. But if you guys get me to 200,000 likes on this, I'll eat the whole thing. I promised this lad a Tiny Tuesday, so I think I have to deliver. But I don't want it to seem like I'm copying Dylan because this is 100% your idea, Dylan. I know it is. So I'm only going to do this once. This is a Tiny Tuesday with an Italian BMT. I basically put whatever vegetables that I personally enjoy onto it. And if I'm being real, mini subs hit kind of different. But once again, this isn't my idea. Go check out Dylan's Tiny Tuesdays because those things hit different. A few hours ago, I put out a post where we hit 3.3 million followers. You guys just hit 3.4 million followers. You guys are insane. I've said it once. I'll say it again. Thank you. You're the best community I could ask for. Has anyone fell over in the store? So way before I started working at the old Subway, there was a snow blizzard going on outside, and there was this woman who was walking through the blizzard, and she slipped and fell right in front of our Subway store. And the woman was literally making threats to my parents over the phone, talking about how she was going to sue us, but in reality, she can't sue us. She could sue the town. She actually went to the hospital, and there wasn't a single thing wrong with her, so yeah, don't walk through a snow blizzard. Have you ever dropped a full container of food on the floor? I hate to admit, but I've done this quite a few times by accident. Whenever I'm closing up and I'm really in a rush to leave, I kind of rush through getting everything in the fridge from the front. And accidents happen, and I'll drop a container of food, like a container of pickles or even olives. And I literally just throw out all the vegetables that touch the floor, and then I take the rest that are in the container home. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm having pickles every day for the next month. Has anyone fell over in the store? So way before I started working at the old Subway, there was a snow blizzard blizzard going on outside. And there was this woman who was walking through the blizzard and she slipped and fell right in front of our Subway store. And the woman was literally making threats to my parents over the phone, talking about how she was going to sue us. But in reality, she can't sue us. She could sue the town. She actually went to the hospital and there wasn't a single thing wrong with her. So yeah, don't walk through a snow blizzard. What's the most awkward part of your job? I think by far it's when a customer first comes in and they don't know what they want. And I'm just standing there like, let me know when I can help you. And also something else that's really awkward is when a customer asks for a 6-inch and I pull out the footlong to cut it in half. And they'll say something like, no, I didn't want a footlong, I wanted a 6-inch. And I just slowly cut it in half in front of them and then put it back in the bread proofer. That always gets them. What do you do when you're not working or you have free time? Free time. So I work at Subway about 20 hours a week. I'm a senior in computer science taking 19 credits for my last semester. I make and upload 4 TikToks a day, and that takes some editing for being real. And in the past 2 months, I've started a startup with 4 of my friends from school. We're building out a web app, and it's going to be available soon. Oh, and I hang out with friends when I have free time too. What was the funniest question someone ever asked? Some of you guys might not find this funny, but I find it really funny. On multiple times, I've had a person come in that I've never seen before and that I know for a fact has never been to the Subway. And while I'm making the sandwich, they'll usually want more meat or more cheese or whatever. And they'll complain and be like, oh, so you must be new here. And then my response is always, nah, bro, I've been working here for 5 years. You're new here. And then they'll usually just look down and keep ordering the sandwich and go. Has anyone ever asked if you sold something other than a sub? For example, ice cream. A little fun fact for all the kids out there. Back in the day, Subway actually sold ice cream, and I thought it was pretty good. When I was younger, I would always go to my parents' shop and grab a nice cone with some ice cream in it, and it was so delicious. But nowadays, not really. I mean, people will ask for sauces that we don't have or meats we don't have. But yeah, other than that, people usually just stick to the routine of whatever sub they like.